Hey, welcome to another edition of What's Next with Joey McGuire. I'm Robert Giovanetti, and Coach, we sit here now 1-0.
Yeah.
You do a good job of preparing your team for anything, goal line situations, long, third and long type things. Do you ever prepare them for, a weather delay?
It's tough.
Yeah.
We always talk about what's next.
Yeah.
We always talk about like sudden change. I was really proud, and Lance Barlow, our head strength coach, brought this up, was like, this was probably the best our team has responded to something like that, like a sudden change or like this delay or anything like that. Because we were sitting in there and we had the games on, different games on, and they kind of really quickly said, hey, we're going to go out in like 10 minutes. And the players are like, oh, okay, let's go. Like they changed gears like that to go play.
I don't know if you have watched the Cowboys documentary on Netflix. It's
Watching a little bit of it.
It's really great.
Really good.
Troy Aikman was talking about how Super Bowl, he said, when you get out there, he said it's really fast, but then eventually it slows down. Right?
Yeah.
He says as you get into it. Is it like that for a first game, too, that all of a sudden a lot of these guys who were hyped up, spring football, that they're finally, here's our chance?
Yeah, I think that's real. Like the not only the vets are all excited and it's the first game of the year and everything's going, but man, we played a lot of young guys, and I know they were really excited, and you got to remind them, hey, look, you've been playing this game for a long time, just settle down and go do your job.
We'll talk about some of the other stuff. I just want to talk about the game. Got a great start, right? Defense comes out and does their job immediately. Poor punt by them, and you guys are able to take advantage. I mean, I thought the great thing is 2 short drives to start the game and really put them away quickly, but then just been able to maintain that intensity.
Yeah, that was one thing. I think because we got to play so many guys, and that was one of the points that I made to them. Like, the standard is the standard. If you step between the lines, you better be able to play at the way we want to play the game, knowing your assignment. I talked about it all week.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you don't get this rep, that's no excuse. Like, you've got to get it in your meetings. You've got to get it, if you don't understand it, you got to ask your coaches. I thought we were really sharp. I thought that everybody got to see a healthy Baron Morton.
Yeah.
Like, that we haven't seen probably since the first half of Oklahoma State, 3 years ago, that, man, he was just putting the ball everywhere he wanted it. It was on a rope. He had a lot of pace to the ball. He's very accurate. That was fun to watch.
Some people might talk about the opponent, but anytime you have that accuracy, I don't care if you're just out in your backyard.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to drop a pass, you're going to overthrow something. I agree. He looked really good, and I was focused on him at one point when I saw him get dinged up. I was actually watching him on that play, and I got a little nervous, but he seems okay.
Yeah, he's moving, even better today. I was in the walk through the training room. I always go down there and like to give everybody in there a hard time and call them my Red Cross babies. And so I was down there messing with different people, and he and Mo Horn were in the tubs, and I asked him, he goes, Coach is getting better every day as far as like the soreness in his leg, and the big thing that's really good, it's no soreness in the knee. It's all kind of right around calf and shin area, and so and it's all muscle, so it'll start feeling better and better every day.
And we've talked about this on this show. He's a tough kid.
Oh man, he really is. It's crazy. In my 31 years, probably 2 of the toughest kids are quarterbacks. And you would think he would be like a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, but Charlie Brewer played at Lake Travis and had a really good career at Baylor. Very underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baron Morton. I mean, those 2 dudes are so tough. Baron's the toughest, though, I've ever coached.
A guy you had speak to the team that we saw a couple weeks ago, Rodney Allison, he was pretty tough, too.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, and
he was tough.
And it must be in the dirt here, because those 2 West Texas guys that are passionate about this university and are really tough guys.
Is it fun for you to an extent to see, hey, we've seen us beating up on each other, to see them go after somebody else? Obviously, you can tell that defensive line is going to be a problem.
Yeah, and I think they have a whole nother gear. I mean, I think they, as they play together, as CJI, you and I were talking about it, like the more reps, game reps they get, the more they know each other, how they're going to rush. They'll play off of each other. You had some of that, but I think it'll get better and better every game. And the more intense moments in the game, I think they'll be even more intense and better.
Something that people don't understand, I think, first of all, you talked about when you got here. We did let the students in a little early Saturday, the great student crowd.
Oh, man, it was awesome.
When you guys walked in and the students were there, they really came through. And we had In the Air Tonight, which is, that's a song you guys like, right?
Yeah. It's funny. I was telling the guys, we're scrimmaging and that was playing and all the older players were commenting about it, and I was like, man, this is a great idea. Jacob Rodriguez said something about it, and I said, maybe we ought to play it when we come in. Every guy that I went up to whenever they walked into the stadium said something about that song.
That's funny.
And it was funny. I wished I could remember who it was, but they said, yeah, I think all my highlights are to that song. They're whenever they were in high school.
It's a great song.
It is. Yeah.
And it's funny, I was up on the camera deck and I heard it. Normally I'm down outside, but I was on the camera deck and I heard this song. I said, oh, hey, the team's here. Right?
Yeah.
Because I knew it coming and see you guys came out. And then we played another song right before Kick that's important to you guys too.
Yeah, so Ozzy Osbourne's Iron Man, or Black Sabbath's Iron Man. Again, we're in a scrimmage and we're getting ready to kick off, and Eric Gerald, our video guy, Red Raider, Dream Job.
Yes.
Literally, all of those are so cool. West Texas guy, he cranked that up, and man, it just like when he cranked it up and Stone was approaching the ball, like the hair on my arm stood up. I said, that is a great kickoff song, and so let's add that to it.
I told Ryan Deedy, who you talked to about that leads our Nicole plays our music, but Ryan leads the game day. I said, you can never go wrong with Black Sabbath.
No.
Right.
No. There's some iconic, you can never go wrong with AC/DC's Thunderstruck, and again, whenever you're talking about you never could go wrong, there's just some game day songs that just kind of fit.
Is it hard? We get the rain. Actually, the weather really helped us. Unfortunately, it impacted the band, right? The band had all those guys there for the alumni weekend. So many worked so hard. A lot of them traveled, spent a lot of money to get here. And that weather hits right at halftime. Great for the game, great for your team that you don't miss any action in the first half. Cost the band a halftime performance, and I know they're going to try to do that again in a couple of years with the alumni band. But the timing was pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, we needed to get, once you get to halftime, the game's official if it gets, rained out. So we got to halftime and came in and at the time, we really didn't. We figured we were going into delay, but we didn't tell anybody. So we were able to get through our normal halftime, and then we were like, hey, we're in a delay, and so everybody kind of relaxed.
Did you ever consider, because I know that Pine Bluff brought that up, about not playing the second half?
Man, we needed to. You can say whatever about, the opponent, and you're dominating them and everything like that. The operations, the signals, everything. Will Hammond needed to go out there and play that game. We needed to see Mitch Griff in a real game situation. That we ended the game, there was a redshirt freshman offensive lineman and then 4 freshman offensive linemen, and they were pretty good, and so those guys, you think you spent a whole month, well, really you spent all of summer and then a whole month of hitting each other, and I wanted also for those to get the reward, because there's going to be a lot of games that those guys are not going to be able to get into, just from the nature of the game. I
heard the official talking before he went in to see you guys that, hey, we can do whatever you guys want. We can do 12-minute quarters, 10-minute quarters. Did you know that you could do that, cut them down like that?
I didn't. I've never been in a situation, since high school that, usually on your junior highs and your freshmen.
I couldn't remember who played 8 quarters.
You can do a running clock and everything like that. We could not do a running clock. That was one thing that they said, but we could say whatever the quarters were and play just like a game. And we both agreed on 8 minutes, and it worked out perfect because we got everybody in the game that we wanted to get in.
And hearing your message to the guys, I thought was really great. Look, we're going out there. I know it's 47-0. Now they're 8-minute quarters, but the standard hadn't changed.
No, it hadn't. And again, I just think it's so important to the growth of the young guys that they get into games and we see what they can do. And they did exactly what we thought. That, Leighton Stone makes a catch on a back shoulder fade. Then we throw the slant to him. He scores. Bryson Jones. I mean, I've been bragging on these guys, and now they go out and do it. And so it's good to see them back me up a little bit.
I love Leighton. I've been watching that kid since he was 8, running around the offices. And I was texting his dad throughout the game. And so it was cool to be texting with him when that happened, to have him have that moment. It's local kid who's worked hard that really is going to be a contributor for you guys.
Yeah, he's going to be a really good guy. We mess with him and Coy because they remind us the way they just play so hard. They got great hands. At one point, we were calling Coy and decoy. Leighton didn't like that, so I said, all right, Then he dropped the ball, and I said, well, I'm not going to call you decoy because Coy's not going to drop that ball. And he thought he didn't like that either. But that's the great thing that I've really seen is these old guys taking the young guys under the wing and really saying, hey, this is how we do things here at Texas Tech.
Let's talk a little bit about the fans. Great turnout. A lot of times on that first game we sell out, which we did, but Labor Day weekend, people don't come for whatever reason, but those seats were full. You can tell. There's places you can look. It was full. The students were overflowing. It was just huge, and it's a great atmosphere. You guys, and you mentioned, hey, ask Skyler about it afterwards, and he said, I don't want to take this uniform off.
Yeah, it was really cool. I watched that again yesterday of him and TC, and number one, they were so excited because they both said that's the first home game sellout that they had been a part of.
That's funny.
And so, that just shows you how great of a fan base we have.
Right.
Because it just doesn't happen. It's not like a Power 4 thing. It's not like it is a Texas Tech, this is who we are thing that we're going to back our teams. So I thought that was great. The stadium was rocking, and it just felt like there's a different excitement right now about this team because we've been in games where there's been a sellout early in the season. Maybe it's a opponent that people don't know and everything, and loud, but not like it was Saturday night. Saturday night, it was incredible.
Yeah, we want our fans to say, we come to see the Red Raiders no matter who they're playing.
Yeah,
and I think we saw that Saturday. And we're going to see that again this coming up Saturday, 11 a.m. kick. We're close to a sellout. Maybe by the time people are watching this, we're sold out. And I think it shows our fans are on board with what we're doing here.
Yeah, and we need everybody Saturday. We'll play well. Our guys are used to the morning stuff, so they'll be ready to go at 11 a.m. But I just can't say it enough. It makes such a difference when this stadium is we're at our best whenever we're all at our best. When we have everybody in this place is full and we're going to be ready to go on Saturday.
And we messaged a lot the last couple of weeks about tortillas. I think our fans, for the most part, went with that. Right? We had a bunch of tortillas at kick, probably the most I've ever seen, maybe since the 94 Cotton Bowl or whatever, when we were in, maybe that was 95, played USC. There was a lot of tortillas there. I couldn't believe how many tortillas Saturday. We didn't, the warning was different, how they said we were going to do it.
Yeah.
They've got the warning later on, but I think for the most part, our fans took part and listened to us and said, we want to keep this going, and that's a cool deal to throw them at opening kick.
Yeah, and I think we've got to really focus on that. Like, this is a tradition. It is awesome, and I know there are young high school kids and middle school and elementary kids, like, whenever I grow up and I'm a Red Raider, I'm going to get to be a part of this as a student section and everything. We don't want to ruin that, so we've got to do it at kickoff, and then we've got to yell like crazy from then on and not throw anything else. I thought our fans did a good job, and we just got to keep it up.
Kent State will be here Saturday. They broke a losing streak, so they've improved. They've got an interim coach. You mentioned yesterday you hope to see him get the job, but again, you got to keep your guys focused on our next step.
Yeah, no, one thing that they're going to hear, and we talked about it, and we've talked about it all camp, it's all about us. Like, be the best version of ourselves, and we'll see who can hold up. Because if we're the best version of ourselves, I think we can step on the field with anybody in the country.
Do you see a situation where you might sit Barron this weekend?
It's tough. I've been in these situations before to where I made the wrong decision. I played a quarterback. I set a quarterback for 2 games and thinking, hey, he'll be ready. This game's going to be a bigger game so we can sit him. And that was a mistake because he came in and he was really rusty and it took him too long to get going. And so what I really wanted to see is how Barron is by Friday and Saturday morning. And if we can get him going, good. If not, I'd be shocked if he's not 100% by Oregon State. But if he feels good and we can get him out there and I'd like to keep him in rhythm. And then, my expectation is to go out and be able to play Will and play Mitch again. And they're going to play at a high level.
Do you see anything in college football this weekend that surprised you? Any big moments that stuck out to you?
Utah, I felt like they're going to be a good team, and they beat up on UCLA pretty good. I thought Cincinnati played Nebraska really well. That was almost a home game for Nebraska. TCU is a good football team. I'm rooting like crazy for the Big 12 because there's such a bias.
Yeah, for sure.
So many conferences. It makes me laugh that we've added a strength of schedule in, but the people that are creating the strength of schedule are the people that have the bias to certain conferences.
It doesn't make sense, right? Because you're saying you're already giving this conference an advantage over everybody else by the games they play. It's crazy out there.
It is. It's interesting and comical. But, what an environment and a great game with Texas and Ohio State. Ohio State's really good. Texas is a good football team, too. It's a tough ask for a young quarterback for your first start on the road to go into Ohio State.
They're pretty good. Yeah. So the thing that stuck out to me, I hate to beat a dead horse, but watching a lot of the games, I watched a bunch this weekend. Again, how good we have it here.
Yeah.
Right. That's some of the big games. Obviously, there's crowds, loud crowds, but a lot of places saw a lot of empty seats, a lot of just kind of a blasé atmosphere, and we didn't have it here.
No, we didn't, man. It was it was rocking. I mean, I honestly knew that we would. I knew it was a sellout. I knew everybody'd come. But when I walked in the stadium and I saw the students, the students were in the stands like we were playing Texas or Colorado. Early. Like, that's what it felt like walking in. I'm telling you, it energized the team. Like, we came out fast because we wanted to make sure we showed our appreciation for people being here.
All right, so don't let the 11 o'clock scare you this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Get a chance to watch games late at night at home, and hopefully we'll have a good crowd and get you guys off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah, we'll have a great crowd, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, Joey, thanks a lot. Again, Red Raiders off to a 1-0 start. We'll see you again next week on What's Next. For Joe McGuire, I'm Robert Giovanetti. Wreck 'em.